What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Hope all you're having a great day today. Getting into this episode of GH. Neil's brother was a sanctimonious ass. Let's just put it that way, to put it mildly. His brother was just a jackass. The stuff that he said to Alexis was just so it was just unnecessary. It was rude. And for him to sit there and blame Alexis for his brother's choices was just out of pocket. Totally unnecessary. First of all, I'm just happy that Valentine was there with Alexis. I love the bond that they've been, developing over some time now. I like it. You know what I mean? And I'm happy that Valentine was there for her, because I don't think Alexis could have faced that by herself. Neil's brother being a complete jackass. Like, I understand he's grieving, he's hurt. I get it. But to sit there and take that out on Alexis is not fair. And I'm glad that Valentine spoke up and basically told Neil's brother that Neil was a grown man. He made his own choices, his own decisions. Alexis didn't force him to do anything, which is super true, because she didn't, And he's making it sound like Neil's the only one that lost things in his life. Alexis went through some things too. Neil didn't just lose his career. Alexis lost her career as well. And everybody knows Alexis being a lawyer was what defined her. You know what I'm saying? Like, her law career is what made Alexis Davis Alexis Davis. You know what I mean? Like, for years, Alexis has been a lawyer. She prided herself on that. You know what I mean? I remember she even told Sonny that years ago, that she remember on her old house, she had built a deck on her own house, and she was proud of it, because she was like, thanks to a successful career, she was able to afford the nice things in life, because she didn't have the Cassadine money at her disposal. You know what I'm saying? So she built her life thanks to her being a lawyer. She had money. She didn't need a man for any money. You know what I mean? And now she lost that. So for his brother to sit there and try to make it seem like all of this was Alexis's fault is some bogus ass stuff. Because no, it is not. Alexis has worked her ass off. She lost her career just like Neil lost his. She even lost her sobriety. She relapsed. You know what I mean? Like, come on. She went through some things too. Neil wasn't the only one. And Neil knew about her problems with alcohol. She never knew that he had any drug issues or whatever. She didn't know any of this about him. You know what I mean? It's not like he confided in her and said, oh, I'm a junkie, or I shoot up, or I do this, But she did confide in him about her alcoholism. So he knew that about her. And she fell off the wagon because of it. Because of the issues in their relationship. So for his brother to sit there and act all sanctimonious was just totally ridiculous and out of line. And I felt bad for Alexis. But I am glad that, she was able to talk to Valentine and have somebody there just to be a shoulder to lean on for somebody, for her to talk to. I feel real bad for Alexis, because it's just like she can't catch a damn break. And now it looks like she's about to relapse, because when Ned and Valentine went outside or whatever to go talk, quote unquote, she went up to the bar and ordered herself a double vodka. I said, Alexis, no. No, Alexis, no. I hate this, because Alexis is turning into Nikki Newman, and I don't like it. If you watch The Young and the Restless, then every time Nikki Newman goes through something bad, I mean anything, the maid could have spilled some milk, and Nikki would use that as an excuse to go run to the bar. Every time. Like, I don't want Alexis to be like Nikki. I want Alexis to be stronger than Nikki. You know what I mean? Like, way stronger. And I understand Alexis is going through some shit, but come on, Alexis, put the vodka down. Some alcoholics, though, they actually do. I remember on, what's that show? NYPD Blue. If y'all remember Dennis Franz, when he played Detective Andy Sipowicz, remember, he was a recovering alcoholic. A lot of times, Andy would go to the bar because, he would order a club soda. but he will also order like a whiskey or a vodka or something like that just to sniff it, just to smell it when he get the urge to drink. But he will, you know, that's what some alcoholics do. They'll order some liquor, but they wouldn't drink it. They'll just do it just to smell it and not drink it whenever they feel the temptation to drink. You know what I mean? Because it kind of, I think the smell of it makes them not want to drink and makes them remember that, you know, I got to keep my sobriety. And you know what I mean? It kind of forces them not to drink it. Some people are strong enough to just sit there and look at it, but not drink it. But we all know Alexis, if she orders that double vodka, she going to be throwing that shit back. We already know. And I was sad because I knew when Neil's brother was going off on her, I knew she was going to go and drink. That's why I'm looking at Valentine like, why did you bring her to the Floating Red when you know there's a bar there? Why you let her go there? You should have took her home where there's no alcohol. You know what I mean? Like, take her home. The last thing we need is her drinking. I just feel bad for Alexis. It's like she just cannot catch a damn break. And it sucks. So anyway, moving on from that. Ned. Ned is working my nerves right now. He really is, because now he's sitting here drinking at the Floating Red, acting all uncouth, acting like a fool. Sitting there talking about, oh, women got to have options and stuff. And you know, when he said women have options, you know what he was talking about, Olivia. Because he thinks that Olivia's doing something with Robert Scorpio. Like, Ned, come on now. You know Olivia better than that. You know her better than that. You know she ain't cheating on you. And if she could have called you, obviously she lost her cell phone or left it at the hotel. Clearly, you got confirmation of that. So that's why she couldn't contact you. You know what I mean? Like, calm your ass down. That woman ain't out there screwing around on you. You should know her better than that. Olivia is not that type. Just because y'all got bumps in the road and y'all got issues in y'all marriage does not mean she's going to use those issues as an excuse to go rump with somebody else. She ain't about to do all that. So for him to do that foolishness, then he get all drunk up and ask, because you know he's still pissed off at Valentine, not only for taking the company, but he feels like Valentine manipulated and preyed on his daughter to get her shares. So they go outside to the alley. Valentine, like, he was not trying to engage with Ned because he was just brushing Ned off like a fly. He said, you know what? Move. You're drunk. Go home. Ned grabbed him and said, bow. Yo, what is wrong with people? Like, you cannot just go around punching people in the face. Like, come on now. You can't just go around socking people all up in their shit. Oh my God. And I think Chase followed them out there too. And that's the wrong thing to do, is punch somebody in the face when a cop is around. I'm just saying, you don't want to do all that now. That's assault right there. Ned need to get it together. Like, your wife is not out here doing the doo-wop ditty with somebody else. She is not. Calm your nerves. Calm down. Speaking of Chase, he was getting on my nerves today. And I normally like Chase, but he was working my nerve because he's sitting there, you know, he found Sasha at the hospital to tell her about Nell being dead or whatever. And now that Nell's dead, he feels like there's nothing stopping them from telling Michael and Willow the truth. Now you want to tell them the truth about how they faked their affair and stuff like that just to get them together. This is what pisses me off about Chase, because him and Sasha already had the same conversation before. And Sasha basically, he let Sasha manipulate him or talk him out of it. And she really didn't have to do much to get him to change his mind about telling Willow the truth. Now Sasha's basically telling him what's the point of telling him the truth, because the way Sasha sees it, she feels like Michael and Willow are growing closer now. So it's no point in telling them the truth because it's not going to change their minds. They're not just going to drop each other and pick up where they left off with Sasha and Chase, which might be true. But at the same time, I feel like Chase is stupid on this point, at this point, because if you really want to tell Willow, why do you keep going to Sasha about it? Oh, we need to tell the truth. Oh, we should tell the truth. If you want to tell Willow the truth, which you obviously do, why not just go to the mansion and go talk to Willow and tell her the truth and see what her reaction is going to be. See what she wants to do. What do you need Sasha's permission for? What do you need Sasha's approval for? You don't need it. I've been saying this for a minute that they should have just told them the truth from the get-go. But no, they want to keep dragging it out. Now you want to tell the truth, but you keep letting Sasha talk you out of it. If that's what you really want to do, then go do it. You don't need her by your side to tell the truth. You just go tell her. That's the annoying part. And Sasha need to get off that stuff. Like, Sasha sitting here ordering more dope. I'm like, Sasha, get off that shit. Lay off them drugs, children. Brooklyn is trying to figure out her own damn music career because Sasha was asking her, like, when are we going to get a new song from you? Now Brooklyn got to figure out what she going to do because obviously she can't sing right now, so she need to find a little patsy or something. Like, you need to figure something out if you want your career to keep going. So anyway, moving on from that. Franco and Elizabeth. I don't know why I was shocked that they could be so sneaky. So apparently, this all was Franco and Elizabeth's idea to get Scott to blackmail Ava and Nicholas out of money. So the initial agreement was $50,000. That's what Franco initially wanted from Ava and Nicholas. And when Franco said $50,000, I was like, what? I said, but didn't Scott ask for $250,000? So Franco was like, you changed the terms of the deal without telling us? Scott was like, yeah, because y'all can get more. Franco was all excited about it. Franco was here for it, but Elizabeth, of course, tried to act like she got a moral compass. Oh, I don't think this is right. Elizabeth. Well, all the shenanigans that you have pulled over the years, now all of a sudden, you want to grow a freaking moral compass all of a sudden? Come on now. Elizabeth, do I need to list the laundry of things that you have done to people? The lies that you have told over the years? The shenanigans that you have pulled? Now all of a sudden you want to act like you got morals? Oh, I don't think this is right. Franco had to do a lot of convincing to get her to finally, see that y'all need the money. I was like, exactly. And the only reason Scott asked for all that money was because obviously Scott wants a cut. Clearly. Scott ain't do all of this out of the kindness of his heart. He gonna want his payoff. I'm not mad at Scott. Like, I'm not. I'm really not. But you know what? I don't feel sorry for Ava and Nicholas because they had this shit coming. I don't feel sorry for them. And $250,000 is a very small drop in the bucket for them. So, I'm not mad at it. I really am not. And there's no guarantee, too, that Ava and Nicholas are even going to pay this money. They might, but there's also a possibility that they decide that they won't pay it. Just to call, Scott's bluff. But, I don't blame Elizabeth and Franco. You got to do what you got to do. So anyway, Cameron, him and Jocelyn were sitting there talking or whatever. And Cameron decided that he feels like it's time for him to get a, part-time job, little after-school job. And I'm actually proud of Cameron. I'm going to tell you why I'm proud of Cameron. Because his parents, Franco and Elizabeth did not force him to get a job. They never even told him he had to get a job. Because, Elizabeth, she wants, Cameron to focus on school, focus on friends, focus on enjoying his senior year. You know what I mean? She don't want him to have to focus on no money and no job right now. Focus on going through school and high school, enjoying your last time at high school and stuff, getting ready for college. That's what Elizabeth wants him to do. But you know what? I respect the fact that Cameron thought about this all on his own without his parents having to tell him. You know what I mean? Because even when he got that car and stuff like that, Franco and Elizabeth could have easily told him, well, you're going to have to get a job to pay the insurance and the parking and the gas and all that. But they never did that. They never told him that. Immediately, Franco was like, I'll take care of it. You know what I'm saying? But I respect the fact that, he was like, nah, I need to get a job. That tells me Cameron's going to have a great work ethic. You know what I'm saying? I think he's going to go far in life, with that mentality, because there's not many 16, 17-year-olds out there that think like that. Like, oh, my parents are struggling to pay the bills, but I need to get these new Jordans. I need to ask them if they can get the new video game. No, he was like, no, I'm going to get me a job and I'm going to help out. I respect the hell out of that. I really, really do. I love that. Nobody had to tell him to do it. Nobody had to ask him to do it. Nobody had to hint about it. He just decided to do it. I respect it. Because he's worried about how he going to pay for college too. Because, you know, his parents are worried about money and stuff like that. Especially with, you know, their careers hanging in a balance at this point. Because Franco don't even know if his art department is even going to be around. Elizabeth hours were drastically cut. So, of course, they're worried about funds. You know what I mean? Especially with, you know, 2 other younger kids at home that they got to feed and clothe. And then they got another one they got to feed and clothe and pay for his car. And he's about to go to college. And even if he gets a scholarship, it might be a partial scholarship, which means they still got to pay money for it. You know, a lot of money. So it's a lot of worry there. But I'm glad, you know, Cameron has decided to take the initiative and go on ahead and look for a job. I like that. So then they were talking about homecoming and stuff like that. And Cameron was talking about how he was trying on all these different tuxes that Nina wanted him to try on. And he was like, you know, it's going to look fly. I hope we get to see their homecoming dance. I really do. I hope we do. Or at least see them dressed up and getting ready to go and all that good stuff. I think it'll be fun. So Jocelyn, of course, got a call from Carly about Nell and stuff. And, you know, Jocelyn was conflicted about Nell's death because she, as much as Nell hurt her family, I think she's always going to have some line of emotion with Nell because Nell did bring Wiley into the world. You know, she is his mom. So she has some emotional connection there. But, you know, her emotions are all over the place with it. And I don't blame her because she's definitely going to be emotional about it. I really did enjoy the scenes with Ethan, Robert, and Olivia all on the jet together. And I felt bad for Olivia because she kind of blamed herself for, you know, not getting to Holly sooner and stuff. But, you know, Robert and them eased her mind and it was like, you know, it's not your fault because she did, you know, if it wasn't for her pushing Robert to go to the memorial and stuff, he would have probably just went straight back to Port Charles, which would have took him even longer to get to Monte Carlo. And even Ethan noticed that Robert and Olivia had a little bit of chemistry. Even Ethan noticed. And Robert was like, oh, ain't nothing going on between me and her. She married and stuff. And shit, Ethan was like, it ain't never stopped you before. But I'm telling you, it's a lot of chemistry between Olivia and Robert. I could definitely see them together. You know, she's adventurous, and you know Robert loves women who are adventurous and who's, you know, out there and stuff like that. You know, they like the same interests as him. And Olivia definitely knows how to handle herself. You know, she's not even a trained WSB agent, but she damn sure came in handy on this trip. You know what I'm saying? So I know Robert took notice of that. I wouldn't mind though if Ned slip up for Robert to slide on in there. I wouldn't mind it. I damn sure wouldn't. But I did love the scene between Robert and Ethan where they were reminiscing about Holly and stuff. And, you know, how Ethan was saying how Holly told him about all of the adventures her and Robert had. And Olivia even offered for Ethan to come back to Port Charles and she would put him up at the Metro Court free of charge. But Ethan basically was like, nah, he got old scores to settle and he got warrants to outrun. Yo, he is just like Luke. Because God knows Luke has so many warrants in other countries. It ain't even funny. But, you know, Ethan was like, he felt like Port Charles hasn't been home to him in some years. So he wasn't really keen on coming back there. But, I mean, I figured he would at least come back to Port Charles to see Lulu, see the kids. You know what I mean? See his niece and nephew and stuff, you know, chill with them for a little second. I would have hoped so. But I guess not. But it's cool. It was good to see Ethan, though. It really was. You know what I mean? I'm proud that, you know, Nathan Parsons is doing a great job on Roswell, New Mexico on the CW. So, yeah, this was a great episode. I really did enjoy this episode. Hopefully, because in the previews, it looked like Ned and Alexis might get it in. It looked like they might have drunk sex. And I'm not looking forward to that. But, anyway, hit the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about this episode. I will see y'all all later. Hope you all have a great weekend. See you on Monday. Peace.